123, the healthcare workers, Connie Fields and Susan Meggie. They're going to bring us up to speed what's going on in that debacle in 1 minute. Just a couple of announcements before we get going. First of all, I had some stuff typed out. I had it all ready. I don't know what happened. I lost it, so I gotta wing it again. I go out to my car the other day. Sitting on the dashboard is a container of clam chowder. What's one supposed to do? I brought it in, put it in the microwave, sat down to a feast. It can only have been made by one person in town, and that's my favorite cousin, Dave McGovro, and his beautiful wife, Diane.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So, thank you, favorite cousins. It was outstanding as always. I don't know how he does it, but this guy is a master. He cooks he's an auto mechanic. Close the auto mechanic store and open up a restaurant. He's an unbelievable cook. Everything. Tremendous.
Where's the restaurant?
Well, he doesn't have a restaurant. He fixes cars.
You said that's what he should do.
He should do that, yes. The McGovros, my cousins, they inherited many talents on that side of the family. We got nothing on our side.
Oh.
So I'm a recipient and lucky to have them.
Yeah.
And I love my favorite cousins. Thanks so much, guys.
That's awesome.
So last night, I don't know if you know about this, Italian Dramatic Club. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Connie, have you heard of it?
Yes.
Best meal in America.
Awesome.
Last night was the monthly feed dinner. And we had meatballs, ziti to die for, salad, potatoes. And I can't tell you what involved with that. It's the toughest ticket in New London to get.
Oh, wow.
You can't get a ticket, really. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Everybody was there that was there. There's a lot of politicking going on there, too.
Yeah.
Last night, believe it or not, some very powerful people, they didn't think we saw them, but we did see them. The mayor was there. Gordon Vidal was there. Big politician was there from the state level, very powerful.
Oh, wow.
So we don't know what was going on there, but the fact of the matter is, it was a meal made from heaven. And you know, Tom Chevalier, I don't know if you know Tom Chevalier, master sauce maker.
Yeah.
There's no
Oh,
sauce,
wow.
no sauce in America like this. Does your aunt cook? She know how to cook?
Oh, yeah, she knows how to cook. Yeah, yeah.
Can she boil water?
Oh, of course.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, she's a good cook, actually.
Tom's in charge of the sauce. Takes him 2 days, sometimes 3. This is not a SpaghettiO thing. This is the real McCoy.
Wow.
Yeah. We actually had dinner there when the governor came in. There was a fundraiser.
Yeah, they do that every year.
Every year.
Every year.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it was
cool.
really nice. Yeah, and the sauce was great.
And you know, have you heard Aldo Valentini?
Yes.
He was the backbone. He passed away, but he's still there in spirit.
Yeah.
But Ray and Joe, his sons,
I was going to say his kids are there.
tremendous,
Yeah.
tremendous. Sam Torello, the Montaneries, Tim Bonanno, Ray from Broughton, a whole bunch. I can't mention any names, but it was a feast. It's a monthly thing. It's a good thing I only go once a month. I can't fit in my pants. How is the guy gonna lose anyway? It's impossible.
Hey, that's how you know you had a good meal.
So you, ladies, do you know how important it is to have a good local paper?
Yes.
Newspaper?
Absolutely.
We all agree that it's very important, right? Mm-hmm. Well, as bad as things are getting, there was a big announcement made on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Did you hear about it?
No.
Well, as bad as it is, you know Eversource is skinning us alive, right?
Oh, yes.
You didn't read about this in the day paper for some reason. I'm hoping that they're going to be doing a story on this because it's important. Eversource announced that they reported record profits before the increase as Connecticut customers absorb higher electric bills.
That's awful. They're scam artists.
You know what makes it worse? What do you think the CEO of of Eversource is knocking down.
Well, if the CEO of L&M is knocking down 1.2, he must be making like 7.
He's making 4.7 million big ones a year. So I'm wondering, what I'm wondering, is there a correlation between L&M and Eversource? in that, is it the jobs of the CEOs to skin us alive? Now, Eversource, contrary to L&M, Patrick Green, Eversource pays their people well.
Yes, they do.
Which they should.
Which
I mean, they're out in the worst
we,
weather.
the ratepayers,
Are paying those people.
and they have the best help. You can't beat the Eversource employees. They're the best. The gas guys, the electric guys, you can't beat them.
The workers,
The workers. Workers good.
Yeah.
Similar to L&M, you can't beat the workers at L&M.
That's
But
right.
What you can beat is the terrible treatment that one CEO, in particular, I'm believing it's Pat Green. If what you're telling me is true, I hope the information you're giving me is correct, because Pat Green seems like he doesn't seem like he'd be the type of guy that he is portraying. He's an educated guy.
He is.
He's knocking down, I'm told, allegedly, 1.1 mil,
1.2.
1.2 mil, and he works 27 hours a week, according to the internet.
Okay, I don't know how many hours he worked, but I know he makes over 1.2 million.
Oh, you're flashing.
Okay,
Oh, wow, somebody's calling.
we're gonna get that in 1 minute, but keep that in mind as we continue our discussion, because there seems to be a relationship, maybe only in spirit, bad spirit, between the is that what a CEO does? He tries to mistreat the workers at the expense of the ratepayers?
God, I hope not.
Now, Lawrence Memorial Hospital is nonprofit, right?
Non-profit.
Let me remind you something. Write this down.
Okay.
There's no such thing as nonprofit,
I
because
agree.
somewhere somebody is making money.
Oh, yeah.
Remember what I said. Let's take this call
Okay.
before I. Here. Okay. Thank you for calling your live. Hello. Hello. We lost that one. Thank you for calling your live.
Hello,
Hello.
this is Jody Discordia calling.
Hello, Johnny.
Well, I'm calling. Do you want the good, the bad, or the ugly about L&M?
We want the good, bad, and the ugly.
Better put on speaker.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, at any rate, the bad is, how about emergency room patients laying for days on stretchers waiting for an available bed while this man is making an obscene amount of money and has no problem with it? That's one of the bad, okay? I'll save the good for last, because that would be the nurses, even though most of them are travel nurses, okay? I've been on the 5th floor, I've been on the 3rd floor, I've been on the 4th floor, and I spent 51 days at L&M, okay? So by the time they got done with me, I was a wreck. At any rate, I've been transferred to a nursing home, and I'm staying here for God only knows how long. At any rate, the nurses were fine. I'm talking about Bree, I'm talking about Tia, I'm talking about countless nurses that were so wonderful to me while I was there. Were they short-staffed? Hell yeah. Did they have enough personnel to do even basic things like turn you in your bed and take care of personal needs? Very rarely, okay? In that case, I'm talking about Angela. I'm talking about Ishmael. Well, I called her Ishmael, whose husband cooks all year for Thanksgiving because people come from far and wide to taste his delicacies. But at any rate, just saying that the people that make L&M run and work and make people give them praise are those people, not the ones making the big bucks. And to add insult to injury was the PIP bonus, okay, which people were counting on for Christmas, okay? And then they decide they're not going to give it to them. No, they're going to go ahead and give it to non-union personnel to really complete the insult, okay? So that would be, let's see, the ugly, okay? And then as far as the good goes, I think I already addressed that. But this man has a nerve pumping his chest out like he's doing so much good when this is what's really going on at L&M, okay? The nurses and the CNAs and the PCAs and whatever, everybody's got a different color smock to wear so that you know the pecking order. And where is the service? It's not there. How would you like your loved one to lay on a stretcher for days in the emergency room? Not me. So just saying, Murray, not impressed with Yale New Haven. Ever since they came on the scene, it's gone from bad to worse.
Joni, can I ask you a question? You said you were there for 51 days. Why were you there so long?
Well, I had a surgery that was unsuccessful. Then it went to the other arm where it was successful, although I'm still having a problem with motion. At any rate, there was that, and then I caught pneumonia, and then, the list goes on, as I said. And then they only dismissed me because they wanted to get rid of me so they could free my bed up. So it was, here's your hat, what's your hurry? I was out of there on roller skates at that point in time. So, just saying. Did they address? Oh, and the main thing is they dismissed me too early. I spent a grand total of 5 days since they dismissed me to when I went home and spent a week on a hospital bed. The visiting nurses did not declare me fit to be home in that situation by myself, so they declined to take me as a client because they felt I was not safe, that I had been dismissed too early. So that's why I'm not such a big fan of L&M. While he's walking around with his $4 million, I'm walking around in a nursing home. Actually, I'm not walking around. That's just it. I'm in a nursing home since September. So just saying, that's my impression of L&M or Yale New Haven, whatever they want to call themselves.
Wow.
All right, Joni. Well, I'm sorry for your troubles, but I'm glad that you reported so eloquently.
Yeah.
Because that says volumes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it does. And
Well, I hope so, because I gave up watching West Side Story in order to call you and vent my feelings towards Yale New Haven, because I'm a supporter of the union at L&M Hospital. They're doing all they can for their members, okay? And time after time, they get a slap in the face for their troubles. Just saying, okay?
You know, they can't wait to discharge you.
Right.
When you get in there.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I swear to
when
God.
my wife was there,
Yeah.
my wife was I hope she's probably not listening. She doesn't listen anyway.
Yeah.
This would be my luck that this would be tonight, because she'd get pissed off at me. But when she was there, we told her, the family told...
They send them to nursing homes. Here you go. Take care of this, okay? And the one that I'm at, well, they test people for COVID before they get through the door. And some of them get sent right back to L&M. No, thank you. This person you told us was COVID-free. Not so fast. So right back to L&M they went. So they'll do anything so that their pockets are lined, and the hell with everything else. That's my feelings towards L&M. And how about this one? While I'm still a patient in the hospital, they sent me a form letter looking for a donation. Yeah, I'll give him a donation, all right. Just saying, Murray. Just saying.
Only you can say it. Only you can say it like you, Joni.
I do.
Well, what can I say? I'm on a pretty good, platform with Kathleen Mitchell. We can't help it.
You're on the top of your game.
Yes, if we have something on the tip of our tongue, out it comes. Why should we keep it in?
Can I ask you a question? Did you have any delays waiting to go to the bathroom, get your food? Were there any major delays?
Well, I guess I would have to say yes. I'm saying that the clientele that would deliver those items were pleasant and, cordial, but there were many a time when they missed the boat as far as, personal hygiene, shall we say? Like a very mundane thing, like going to the bathroom, for instance. So, and then they were concerned about my lack of appetite. Well, how about you give me a menu that I can pick from, and then we're talking. And that's not to say anything about the personnel in the dietary department, because they bend over backwards trying to accommodate you and make sure they give you something that you would enjoy. Mm-hmm. But it needs some help, big time. So he could use a refresher course on how to run departments, and then maybe give back some of his $4 million. Makes me laugh. When I'm not crying, it makes me laugh. That how could they approve a salary like that for a man? And
Well, he's making $1 million.
$4 million? Who's worth that? Not him.
He's making over 1.2 million, not 4 million.
Oh, okay. Well, the poor thing. How's he getting by on that?
Well, he's working 27 hours a week.
Oh, well,
according to the internet.
That. Gee whiz. Make me feel guilty, why don't you? Just saying.
Well, Joni, I thank you for calling in, and I do want to say on behalf of L&M union members, we apologize for the short staffing that's going on.
Right. Well, it's not your fault.
I know.
And it's, I guess, industry-wise, if you believe them. Right. And I just feel for these folks because they're running around trying to keep everyone happy, trying to keep some basic needs, and not able to do it because they just don't have the manpower.
Yeah.
And that's a euphemism because it's mainly women that are doing this. So obviously this man didn't have a single mom trying to get by and keep her family fed while he's running all the way to the bank with his billions in his pocket. So don't ask me to pity this man because I'm sorry, it's not happening.
Thank you. So
if you'll excuse me, it's back to West Side Story, okay?
Have a good night. Thank you for calling.
Feel better,
right.
Joni. Thank you for
All
calling.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye. So you were going to say in the middle of Joni's...
They couldn't wait to get her out of there. Now we had promised my wife we wouldn't put her in a nursing home. She was very sensitive about that. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, or sometime after dinner, I don't know exactly what time, this jackass comes in and tells her she's going to a nursing home. And she flipped out. And it was devastating to her as it would be to anyone.
Right.
Their policies, I don't know if that's a standard policy on how you talk to somebody. My son was the spokesman for the family. He wasn't consulted. Nobody was consulted. And here's a woman, she almost died. One more day in an incubator, she would have been dead.
Wow.
So it was very distasteful. You don't know the adjective what I'm thinking.
Right.
In addition to that, you told me that they stopped delivering the paper to the patients. Is that possibly true?
It is true. They do not get the day paper at L&M.
What's the rationale? Who made that decision? And what's the
I
rationale?
don't know. I'm assuming it had to be somebody high, but the patients relied on the paper. Oh, we don't have anybody to deliver them. I think that's what I heard. But that's when you get somebody to deliver them to the floors.
Volunteers.
Volunteers. You said when you were in the hospital that you had the paper brought to you.
I had the paper because I knew my friend brought it to me after he found that I was in there and asked me if there's anything I can do. It means a lot to a patient to have a paper first thing in the morning.
Amen.
And I think it's a terrible disservice to anybody to do that.
Yeah.
But let's just recap just for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
This is the third time you've been on the show. Are you making any, is it?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Where are the negotiations to date? Where do you stand now?
We're still in the same. We're in the same space, same spot, but we are looking forward to having further discussions, if ever. We just want. We can't stress it enough. A livable wage. We want better benefits, as we have the benefit packages to show, you know, the options, the price difference between the premiums for our current and what Yale employees get.
Right, but let's establish a couple things.
Okay.
Because as things stand right now, we don't like each other.
I love where I work.
No. It doesn't seem like
Yeah.
you as the president of the local, not representing 9 people, it doesn't seem like you and Patrick are hitting it off that good.
Absolutely not.
Right, so,
Correct.
Is there any way to rectify this? Is there any way that you can sit down and have a cup of coffee?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Figure this out.
Absolutely.
And,
We'd
and,
love
and,
that.
Absolutely. And this is what others in the community have said to us. It can't be that difficult. It is that difficult when you have somebody saying, this is all you're going to get. I don't care what the living wage needs to be. I'm not going to pay
Who's making that call?
Donna Epps, Patrick Green, I don't
Does
know. But it's being delivered through their attorney.
Does the Patrick Green...
He's never met with us. Never.
Does he serve to the board of directors?
Yes, he does.
And have you have any correspondence or conversation with the board of directors?
We have not had any correspondence with the board of directors. We haven't been reached. Not one person from the board of directors has reached out to us, and I know quite a few of the members on the board of directors. And it's concerning that they don't think that we need more staff. We're so short-staffed.
Speaking of that, are there not state guidelines or mandates that require X amount of people for X amount of patients?
There should be. So the nursing homes are working on new legislation as of now. I think every hospital needs to band together in the state and say, no, not just the nursing homes. The hospitals need staffing limitations as well.
But right now they do not have any of those mandates.
The nurses are supposed to get 4 to 5 patients, but the nurses are now getting up to 8 patients.
How is that?
They're getting up to 8.
How's that received?
As you know, from when your wife was there, short staffing. So when your wife was in CCU,
when she was in ICU, it was tremendous.
It was tremendous because the care is basically a one-on-one. But then when she went to 4-1, as you explained to me, it wasn't that.
They didn't have enough help.
They didn't have enough help. And that's the bottom line. We're not criticizing the nurses. We're not criticizing the PCAs. We're criticizing the fact that the short staffing.
Well, that's a management decision.
Exactly.
Are they trying to increase? I don't know if they need them or not. Doesn't seem like they don't need them.
They need them.
Yeah, they need them.
Our union has over 135 job openings. 135.
But because they're starting lower than other places in the community, people, most people looking for a job, they apply to more than one place. and they get one job offer and say a couple of days later they get another job offer that pays better, they're going to go where the money is.
Right.
And that's what's happening. And that's why
Right.
we're not getting people, is because we're not paying enough.
Yeah, we just don't. Before, L&M used to be the employer of choice. It hasn't been the employer of choice for quite a few years.
Did you want to go 10 minutes longer? Because
Sure, of course.
it's already, Drew, can we go about 10, 15 minutes longer?
Sure, you got a full hour if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I know you ladies had something you wanted to discuss. By the way, that's quite a emblem you got
Your necklace.
hanging there.
Oh, yeah. I only paid $12 for
Yeah,
it.
Oh, come on now. You're kidding
It's
me.
very nice.
Yeah, no, it's nothing real, but it looks real. Thank you.
All right, well,
So-
before you go there, is there a way, is there a conduit that can put you guys together?
Yes. The mayor made a great offer to help us. And he didn't do it just for us. He did it for his community. You know, we have support from leaders in Groton. We have support from leaders in East Lyme. I don't think they realize the burden it puts on the actual cities and towns. You know,
But we're wasting so much time.
we are. We are.
Let's get this thing resolved. You know, you and Patrick Green,
Green.
you got a long way to, you got a long working career ahead of you. He's going to be there for a long time. At the end of the day, you got to work together.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
In the future,
And-
we
and
got to
want
get back.
to.
And I want to say not be targeted, because I was targeted and disciplined. And I know it's because of the show from last week. But anyway, let's just put that out.
I find that hard to believe.
I'm telling you, a 5-page discipline. I've been there 19 years.
Was there something that I said?
It was something that I said,
Oh.
Murray. I guess it's just something I said. But I can't shut up. And I don't care what they do to me. I will not stop fighting for what's right. Period.
All right. Now
This
you,
is a social justice issue. People deserve to have a livable wage. They deserve to have dignity and pride, not just about where they work, but also about their life, how they live. You know, yeah.
well, what we're going through on every level today is driven by one thing. This EverSource increases that we all have to live by.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with supply and demand.
No.
It's got nothing to do with supply chain. It's got everything to do with greed.
Yep.
But that's when we, as the consumers, have to go to the state level, to the federal level, and say this is unacceptable. You can't double an electric bill because you say that it needs to be done, and you have record profits.
Yeah.
You can't, but they did.
I know, but that doesn't mean we can't do something as consumers to back it up and try to reverse it.
We have another call.
Oh, sure.
Thank you for calling. You're live.
Hi, Murray. Before I get to the L&M issue, I want to know how an Italian can get tickets to go to that dinner every month. And I know they're not all Italians that go there.
She wants to go to the
So how do I
to
get
the-
a ticket to go there with all the my
Italian
Goombas?
club.
You'd have to go through the chain of command.
I do.
And
My parents are full-blooded. My grandparents are full-blooded. They grew up in the fort. I shouldn't have to go through a chain of command.
well,
Come on now, give me
I'll
a
try
break.
I'll try to vet you. Now we do have a couple of fundraisers coming in that I can get you a ticket to
Oh,
attend.
gee, thanks. And I probably know 90% of the people that go there.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, well, I know it's one of these old boy club things.
No such thing. We are.
Okay. And how
we,
come you didn't mention the chicken? They don't have the chicken anymore?
They do have the
do
chicken.
have the
Last
chicken.
night they had the meatballs, but the
Okay,
chicken.
all right,
is out.
I'll just-
Call me
okay.
up. Call me on a landline, and I'll.
Okay,
I'll get you on a long
I'll have to check with all my friends there.
Absolutely.
And on another note, for the hospital issue, Connie, is there anything the public
can do to help you guys at all?
Yes. So we're definitely going to schedule another informational picket in March. We're going to try to do one in April. We're not going to stop fighting for what's right. And we need the community to work with us, send letters, and also if the care you're receiving at the hospital is not adequate or not something that you think you deserve, you need to speak up. People need to know it's just, they're busy. Oh, I know they're doing the best. They are. But are they doing the best but cutting corners? We need to know that L&M is doing their best and making sure the number one priority is patient safety, not profits.
But do you think they would listen to us?
Yes, we have to. Even if like I mentioned to Murray before we started, and again, I got a discipline again today. Yesterday. I got a 5-page discipline. I don't care what they do to me. I'm not going to shut up and I'm not going to stop. This is something we need. It's not a want, it's a need. It's unacceptable for us to be paying $66 and some people make $15.50 supposedly an hour. It's just unacceptable. And as a community, it falls on us. It's just like the lack of daycare availability. That falls on us. The schooling, it falls on us. It falls on us as community members. And we need to do more. We need to continue to fight for more. We need to know that even if so now we're past that minor increase that they gave in that PIP. Thank God we're beyond it. Because now we can continue to fight and let members know, don't sit down and shut up. This is when you stand up and fight. Because it's not over until we get what we need, period. And I won't shut up.
And the thing is, I've talked to a few people who have family members or have experienced not a good thing at the hospital. But they just complain to each other.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, I had knee surgery a year and a half ago. It'll be 2 years in November. And I had nothing but the best experience.
Good.
I mean,
Awesome.
from leaving, from my surgery and I was in the hospital, to the recovery room. The 2 nurses were wonderful that tended to me after the surgery.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody that I knew when I was in recovery, there was somebody else I knew, and it's a good friend of Murray's who used to own a garage and a dairy. And when I found out it was him, they were even nice enough to move my little bed right next to him so we could chit-chat.
Oh, that was nice.
And from upstairs, the meals, I didn't want to go home the next day. I stayed the night. I didn't want to go home. Everybody was wonderful.
Good.
Now, I was one of the lucky ones. It might have been only knee surgery, but I told people when I came home, I could have spent a week there. I felt like I was on vacation. I have never met so many hard workers that were so nice, and I know they were overworked. I know they were. But you would never know it. Never know it. So
That's how it should be.
you know, it's a shame that there's not, and I don't know how many people are not happy. I have heard a lot weren't, but I tell them, I felt like I was in a country club. When they said I had to go home before a second shift came on, I was disappointed. I held off as long as I could. But, I hope, the public will get involved somehow, and if you can get it out some way, somehow,
Yeah.
To have people do things and make phone calls or letters or whatever you need, because things happen in groups, and I'm like you. My mouth doesn't shut for anything.
Neither does
I
mine.
may not always get what I want, but the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
So keep on trucking, and hopefully you'll have the public behind you.
Well, thank you so
So-
much, and we
All righty,
we
you guys
appreciate
have a
you.
good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
You know, going along with that, when I was in the hospital, it was a fun experience. The nurses were tremendous. I mean,
Yeah.
it was. I understand that. I think that was Kathleen Mitchell.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I understand what she was talking about because everybody was wonderful.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
And
We had party. I mean, and I love the nurses. The nurses saved my life.
yeah.
And
And your wife's, right?
my wife has always been there for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get back onto the
Okay.
subject that you wanted to talk about, which is the benefits.
The benefits.
What do you want to talk about?
So they switch providers, and certain prescriptions are not being covered.
We got another call.
Why?
We got another call.
Oh, go ahead. Take another call.
Thank you for calling. You're live with
It's.
Connie and Susan.
I just want to let you know, it's not Kathleen Mitchell. It's Chachi's granddaughter from the fort. So I just wanted to let you know that. Good night,
Well,
guys.
You would have fooled me. You fooled me again.
So what we wanted to talk about was the astronomical difference between what L&M pays for insurance at my level, at our level, compared to what L&M
All
charges.
right, now, this is the L&M benefit amount that they pay on your behalf.
No, that we pay.
You
on
have to
our,
pay.
Employees
that
pay,
the
yeah.
Got it.
employees pay.
They don't, you have to pay for your own insurance.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then there's a copay.
Disgrace, by the way.
Exactly. So currently, an employee plus one pays $66 a week at L&M. For Yale, they would pay $77 every 2 weeks. So that's less than half. An employee by themselves pays $33 a week. At Yale, a week they pay under $10. So it's almost triple what the cost is for insurance, for benefits.
Outrageous.
Outrageous. And they're messing with the prescriptions at the drugstores. I had a woman who had to cancel her surgery because she couldn't get the insurance part right for her prescriptions. You know how sometimes they'll tell you what prescriptions you're going to get? She needed to take a prescription before her surgery and after. She had to cancel her surgery because they just couldn't get it right. They wanted her to pay $400 for one prescription. We work for the largest healthcare system in the state. Why is somebody spending $400 for their prescription? That doesn't make sense. How much are they paying for that prescription? They need to step up the bar and realize that they have great employees and the insurance is ridiculous. It's just
Do
ridiculous.
you think L&M is making money?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that we haven't talked about
It's the finances.
is the PPP. Now, when the PPPs, when that money was released from the government, it was the big people that got the most benefit out of it.
Amen.
Do we know how much money L&M received on behalf of the PPP? Because there were two of them.
No, but I can find out. But I'll tell you how much the union members got. Zero. They kept the PPP bonus.
I mean, maybe they didn't get it. Maybe
No, they got it.
Supposedly non-profit.
Nope, they got it. They kept the PPP bonus, the COVID bonus from us. Yeah. And we're the ones at the bedside. The only ones at the bedside for patients are union members, except the physicians.
And they kept it from us because we didn't want to go to biweekly pay.
Yeah. They kept it. They took that bonus and did not disperse it to union members, and that was Donna Epps and Patrick Green's decision. Those are the words from Donna Epps' mouth. We decided not to. We wanted something for it.
Now, was that in the middle of the contract, or was that?
Yep, that was in the middle of the contract. Yep, that was in, that bonus came out in December 2020.
So who were the
Maybe
recipients?
2021.
Who were the recipients of the PPP?
Everybody who was non-union at L&M. And then everybody else throughout the
So
system.
why should that be? Why wouldn't it be divided by everybody?
You're right.
There was. I'll guarantee you, there was plenty there.
I'm positive
And that's
there was plenty.
what we're wondering is why were we withheld and said it's because we didn't want to go to biweekly pay. It was supposed to be a bonus for working
COVID.
during a pandemic, as not have anything to do
These are
with the
questions.
paychecks.
These are questions that the day paper needs to investigate.
I think so too.
And they have very smart reporters there,
They really do.
and
And it's such a shame that their paper has been discontinued or is not allowed in the hospital for the patients to have access to. And that's been since December, since Brian Hellenbeck wrote the article supporting the union. That day, the papers were pulled from the hospital.
what else you got, Connie?
Do we have anything else? I really think that insurance piece is key.
I mean, you know, this is a very complicated issue, especially when you get into benefits that are broken down,
Right.
like they have them broken. The hospital business is a very complicated
Yes.
business. They've made it complicated. Government has made it complicated. I don't think the hospital on purpose makes it complicated, but it certainly is.
It is, but not only is it complicated, it's like you want people to be at a poverty level and stay there. You don't want them to have a come up. What kind of organization are you that you don't want your employees to do better? You don't see them doing better. Somebody's got to take the hit and stay at a lower level. So therefore, that's what they do.
And people that make under a certain amount, they're basically forced to go on state insurance
Well, how about that gentleman that
because they
was
can't
here
afford it.
last week?
Yep.
That works during the day. He had to pick up a second job to keep going. Now
Yeah.
he's textbook.
Yes. And he actually works. He makes more money on his second job than he does working for L&M full time.
You would think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah. You know, we have a lot of members that work two jobs. We have a lot of members that pull 60, 70, 80 hours. Even there's a couple that do 90 hours.
They're hardworking people,
Hard-working people and getting shafted.
and it makes no sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know now how we gotta get.
We'll be back next week, Murray. We'll be back next week with the financials. And
Bring
we
the
will-
financials.
Yep.
And
We'll bring the financials, and we'll also bring how much they receive for the PPP.
absolutely.
Yep.
That information is pertinent
Yes.
to this
Yes, it is.
conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
As
it's
a
also
lot of things are.
It's also pertinent to the community. Like, they need to know. L&M is not losing money. They're profiting, record profits.
Like what? How do you know that?
I saw when we went to the last negotiations,
Yeah.
the one that the mayor organized, we had the figures.
Can you give me any type of idea?
No, but I can definitely make sure I bring it next week.
All right, I would like to see that.
Yeah,
Because, you know they pay no taxes, right?
Amen, I know.
Right.
I live in New London. And why should all their surrounding properties that they own not pay
You know,
taxes?
Years ago, before they merged, wasn't L&M up against it? Weren't they having financial problems, or was that
No,
they never had financial problems?
no. They had money overseas.
Hmm.
Yep.
Anything
The
else?
Cayman Islands.
Well, we have the housing information. I don't know if we have enough time to go into that
Yes.
tonight.
So we have 15 minutes. So according to the livable wage for anybody with a 2-bedroom house or 2-bedroom apartment, you need to be making a minimum of $27 an hour.
I read that the other day someplace.
Yep. This is what you need to live in our area. And we are definitely way below.
What percentage of your membership is on the lower scale?
Probably over 20, if not more. I'll get the numbers for you next week in our financials. I'll have the exact number of members that make that's under what the market is saying. It's probably 80%. Because it's saying for New London County, we should be making $24.12 an hour. It's definitely 80% of the members do not make that kind of money.
All right, ladies, you got your work cut out for next week.
We're all
We'll
set.
be here. Patrick Green, we're going to be doing this show until we settle this thing. It's going to, I hope that it's going to get more civil.
Yep.
Because it's going to, I think it's going the other way right now. But
I think it's going the other way, but there's no other way we can go without him.
And I also heard, I just heard this within the last couple of days, on February 27th, he's supposed to be coming to Pequot for a listening session.
he's going to listen, or are you going to listen?
That's what we're going to find out. I would like both sides to listen, and maybe we can make some headway, and I hope it happens.
Now, are you invited that, Connie, as the president of the local?
Of course not.
But it's open to employees,
It's a-
and now I don't know if he's going to other parts of the hospital too, and he's just starting with Pequot, or if it's something coming up related to Pequot. That we don't know. We just know he's coming on the 27th
Right.
from at 1 o'clock. So I would say if you're employed by the hospital, I don't see why you can't come.
And I do have to tell you, Murray, he was a guest at a fundraiser in Mystic. Did we tell you that?
No.
And we crashed the fundraiser. And wherever he will be, and we know about it, we will be there.
All right, but
We will post our signs outside. We will have a peaceful protest, holding up our signs, letting people know we're not going away. Bummer.
I take it you're not going to be invited to the
Christmas party next year.
summer picnic or.
They don't even have them anymore.
But,
Well, it sounds like the Italian Dramatic Club has better food anyway.
there you go. All right, ladies. Thank you for
both are
coming
great.
on tonight. Thanks for the call. Thank you, Drew, for the good work you always do. Murray, signing off from the city, Too Tough to Die, New London.
Take care.
Thank you.